Oh my, did it survive? Well, don't put a GoPro on top of your car. Okay, welcome out there. It's Thursday, January 4th? Wow, 4 days in the New Year. Trying to scramble here. I'm going to Lakeville North to do a speaking engagement. I actually came from a meeting invite after I did the YMCA, the camp one. One of the students came up, and it's part of DECA, their program there. So, yeah, I say me because Irik's supposed to be with me, but Irik has got the flu. So, I wasn't going to record today at all. I was going to focus on the speaking engagement, but I'm like, after going back and forth, Irik, I got this. I can do this. Now I just need to figure out how to get all of that into my car and get the shots that Irik wants. So, we will see. Wish me luck. Oh my, did it survive? Well, don't put a GoPro on top of your car. That's the case. I guess it popped out of the case and the battery shut down. Holy shnikes. Woo, okay, so that was fun. Well, I'm at a stoplight here. GoPro, I know this will make it in because Irik loves when I screw up. Well, I can't find the holder. GoPro came off. Spent a little recon there trying to find it. Okay, green light, gotta go. Okay, made it. I am early. I want that noted. Irik, even carrying all this gear. So again, one-man show. So yeah, would have been even earlier. We are down one GoPro. Sorry, Irik. I'm sure you'll include that footage. Just so you know, GoPro, they don't attach really good to hoods. Do very well in windows. All you GoPro people probably already know that, but that's a lesson learned for me. So we're down a GoPro, but I did recover it. A little search and rescue mission. So yeah, we're here at Lakeville North. Let's go have some fun. Ooh, Popo.
He's not in a class that the teacher said that they were going to come, but...
So they opened this to all the students, and now some of the teachers said this isn't important enough. What's up with that? What could possibly be more important than this? Right? Come on!
Here's your clicker.
Got it.
And then just left, right, and then you'll have to point over here, I guess, when you're talking.
How much time do we have?
What's 9:29. You have 14 minutes.
Oh, I got 14 minutes. If you guys, I'm never used to being early, so that's like all the time. One up to the top.
Okay.
Let's see.
So our speaker this morning started his own business, was featured on Shark Tank, and now happily owns his very successful business, Extreme Shark Tank. So I ask that you all join me in giving an extremely warm welcome to Randy Stinger.
Extreme Shark Tank. You said Extreme Shark Tank. I like Extreme Shark Tank, though. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy Stinger with Extreme Sandbox. So thank you for having me here today. Lauren invited me. I did a event. It was YMCA. I think it was a entrepreneurship program, but came up after I was able to meet some students. I love coming out and telling our story. So anytime I get that chance, especially with students, I like to come out. So thank you for taking time to come here. I'll try to not make this boring. The reality is you're out of class, so that's got to be a bonus right there. So I'm going to go through some things. There's some I try and make these interactive. So feel free. You can ask questions during the presentation. Doesn't bother me. Otherwise, there will be a Q&A at the end that I'll try and make enough time that we can answer some questions there. So that's a little bit about Shark Tank. Now, you saw my professional self. You saw this is how most people know me on Shark Tank. This is how anyone close to me and my kids know me. I'm just a big kid at heart. I refuse to grow up. I wish I could tell you these pictures are old, but I'm guessing that's probably within the last, year or so. I was at Target at the time, Found a way to start it part-time, and really slowly grew the business from there. We opened in 2012 here in Minnesota, and have grown from there. The first 2 or 3 years was just trying to figure out what the heck we were doing. Because, I mean, putting someone off the street on a giant bulldozer, there's some processes you have to learn there. So that was probably the biggest challenge, learning that. After that, we knew we had a winning concept, then we were trying to scale it. How do you grow? So Shark Tank came. Prior to actually going on Shark Tank, though, we're already in the process of opening a site down in Texas. So most people, we have a site just north of Dallas. Most people think that's a Shark Tank Mark Cuban thing. Nothing to do with him. That was actually in the works prior to me even auditioning for Shark Tank. So we opened that site last year. So we have 2 outdoor sites, and then most recently, if you've been following us, we opened a new indoor concept, Extreme Sandbox Mini, up at Rosedale Center, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But so we have 3 sites right now. We're continuing to build our model and scale the business across the country. We're not franchising it. We're doing all company-owned sites. And that's really where we've taken this one concept and have continued to evolve it and grow it. And we're in our 5th year now, but I feel like we're really just starting. We're an infant in this stage because it was just building a new space. Does anyone know where our first location was? And you were all going to say Hastings, and I was going to say no. And then I was going to say, well, bam. So that's Burnsville Center. That was after we got approval. That's a kiosk. It's a horrible photo, I apologize, that's a kiosk. So I'm going to set this down so I don't accidentally hit it again. When I got approval in 2011 to open Extreme Sandbox in Hastings, we weren't approving to open until April of that year, so about 4 or 5 months later. And I'm like, okay, how do I get the ball rolling? How do I get revenue going? Things like that. It was going into Christmas time. Boom, got a kiosk at Burnsville Center at a mall. You'll see everything up there is all staged. Those photos up there, we made those. I mean, we had to put a piece of equipment out there and stage a photo. We weren't a real business. We didn't exist. I was taking money from people for gift certificates for Christmas on a business that wasn't even open, that I had no clue how to actually do. Huge risk, right? But is it? Is it really that big a risk? I'm basically, so some people want to have a nice tailored business plan and have everything structured, and they want to open the doors and they want to do it. Sometimes you got to think outside the box and find new and different ways to do it. So we pre-opened. I ended up generating revenue for about 4 or 5 months with pretty much 0 expenses. I had about $40,000 in the bank before we opened in April. Next, understanding relationships. So I also title this one now 5149. I have to give credit to, if you guys, any of you follow Gary Vaynerchuk, he is an entrepreneur god to me. He's founded VaynerMedia up in New York. He's got Wine Library, but he's a very successful entrepreneur. He's got a YouTube series, things like that. I actually got the 5149 from him. But I've been saying understanding relationships for a while. I love the way he says it, and it's the same real concept. 5149 is about how much you're giving and how much you're receiving. You always want to be on that tilted side, the 51 side. You should be always giving at least 51% in any relationship. Okay, it's your leverage. You want to be giving more in business, in personal, whatever. We all know those friends, and you guys know them in here, the ones that are always taking from you, and you know the ones that will do anything for you or give you anything. Which ones do you like hanging out with more? Clearly, and if you don't know which friend you are, you're the taker, just so you know. But that's how it goes in business, is you're always trying to. Today's a good example for me. Here, where do you think I am on this scale today? Probably like 90 to 10. I'm not getting paid to be here. This is all me giving. I'm putting out, I'm hoping I inspire one of you is all that matters to me, but it's all about putting that out there and not getting anything in return. I'm not asking you, I'm not selling you guys anything right now. It's just telling my story. But that's how in life, that's how, if you can put yourself in the other person's shoes, you can see it. So what's that look like for me? I originally pitched the concept when I had it to Ziegler Cat. They're one of the largest cat dealers in the country. And when I pitched this to them, I wanted to get their sponsorship. And they're like, really didn't want to do it at all. So they're like, we'll sell you equipment, but we're not going to sponsor you. So I said, okay. I basically asked them, I got a request, after we did the announcement and launch, we got a media request in December of 2012. WCCO News wanted to do a segment on us. At the time, I didn't exist. I had a kiosk. So I reached out to them again and said, hey, I've got a news segment, wants to do a story on us. Is there anyone get me some equipment? Without even blinking an eye, they got me basically 3 brand new pieces of equipment out to the site. I had to talk to the landowner to do this story. That was me. Weren't even open. We just had that equipment out there, delivered it. So I went and spent the best $60 of my life. What did I go buy? I went to the Ziegler Cat gift shop. I bought 3 hats. Ziegler Cat hats. Didn't ask me, they didn't know anything about it. It's a horrible photo. That's a screenshot from WCCO News. What am I wearing? Ziegler Cat hat. All my team, 3 other people had those hats on there. It was one of the top news segments for the weekend. It took off, and we just got tons of press from there. Next thing I know, like a day or 2 later, I get a call from my rep. He's like, I don't know what you did, but they want to talk to you now. Next thing I know, I didn't get really an official sponsorship, but they helped me tremendously getting off the ground. They were very helpful. So and again, that was all me giving. I didn't ask for really any, I did all that on my own. I could have just taken their equipment and just been happy with it. But no, I took that step. Fast forward about a year or 2, they were really, really helpful on me getting off the ground. They would give me demo units for free and really help the business grow. So I felt guilty. Again, I felt like that teeter-totter was going, like I was taking too much. So I went and met with them after about a year and a half, 2 years. And I met with one of the leaders there and I said, what can I do for you? Now granted, Ziegler Cat's like the 4th largest cat dealer in the country. They're huge. I'm a nobody. You know, I'm just this little guy starting this operation. So he looked at me kind of puzzled. And he's like, I can't think of anything you can do. So I rephrased the question. I go, what keeps you up at night? And he paused and then he looked at me and he said, pipeline of talent. I didn't really understand it at first, but then he explained, we could hire 30 diesel technicians, but there's no kids coming out of the schools right now for trades. And that was kind of my aha. It was something I had never really been exposed to before. So next thing I know, I'm like, you mind if my team takes a stab at that? Left. And what we realized is we had a really interactive experience that we were allowed to take down to 14 on this equipment. So we came up with heavy equipment camps. Heavy equipment camps were basically a way to get high school kids out to our sites and experience heavy equipment. So we were able to do this. Again, we've done now, had that launched in about 2014, we've done many of these camps with many different schools. So we aired on Shark Tank. Next thing you know, we got a national sponsorship with Komatsu America, the 2nd largest equipment manufacturer in the world. Big piece of that was those camps. Komatsu has been absolutely amazing to work with. Their team came out to our Hastings site. We're sponsored nationally for all of our sites with pretty much brand new state-of-the-art Komatsu equipment because they see the value in what we're doing. We're doing awareness to the general public, not only about operating equipment, but the industry, the skills gap, addressing some of those things. So they've been huge partners. Awesome. Well, so I think we're right on time. I'll be up here for a little bit if anyone has questions. Otherwise, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for inviting me to come here and speak. And you guys rock on. Thanks. Okay, so that was good. Now, I saw Kevin used to be with Bloomington Schools, and he's got a heavy equipment. We had one of their camps was actually them. So funny, I run into him. So I'm running down to his class to really quickly kind of talk to them. Thank you very much. Take care. Okay, so running back to the auditorium now. That was awesome. I didn't know. 2 birds, 1 stone. Hadn't seen Jim in forever since Bloomington School, so it's nice to see some construction trade kids. So let's go back. I guess there's another class that's going to be doing something.
Are we in the vlog?
Yes, you're going to. So we're going to do low key, though, here. I don't need a mic. I won't need a mic.
Wait, are we in the vlog?
We're in the vlog.
Do you want to be in the vlog?
Yeah, can I vlog?
Sure. So how did I do?
You did very well. Really well.
What was the most impactful? What did you guys?
I thought the part about like relationships was really
Good.
Yeah, that was really
What sucked on their presentation?
Nothing.
Come on. They're lying right now. Something. Hold on. Something sucked, right? No. Someone will comment about all the stuff that sucked, but nothing. You're not nothing. It was so awesome.
We'll let you know if there's anything in a survey.
And they're going to do a survey, so we'll find out. Thank you. See ya. We should. Hopefully this stuff will be up tomorrow on our YouTube. So if you need to use any of it, so see ya. So just finished up presentation at Lakeville North. Wow, that was, so it started with, it's just one speaking engagement. And then I ran into Kevin, who actually was with I think Bloomington schools. We happened to do a camp already, so he recognized me. We were talking beforehand. So afterwards, I went over to his class to talk real quick. Let's see. And then I had another teacher came up afterwards, loved it so much that she wanted to have her class see if I would stay and do a little Q&A. So stayed a little bit and did a Q&A with them afterwards, which was really helpful. And then so it was great. I thought it was nice to get invited and talk to them, and we'll see. Again, when I go out these, if I can just inspire one of them to take action, do something different, let them know school is just a blip on the radar. It's all right to not be doing, great, as there are big things in store for you. So yeah, it's tough to drive around and do all these, but I love them. I love coming out and engaging students. I try and learn as much as I can, and now I just gotta run up to Rosedale and keep running the biz.